Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to have a deeper look at why we are saying affirmations and what is going on with the subconscious mind when we are saying them. So when we want to create a different outcome in our life, we are saying affirmations in a way that we are saying them because we know that as we continue to say them, neurons in our brain are going to change, and inevitably our outside world is going to be perceived differently because we're going to see things differently through the thoughts that we are continuing to think. Now, an affirmation is a state, it's a fact, its definition is to affirm that something is true. And when we start saying affirmations that may not seem true to us at the start, it does not mean that we won't create a belief inevitably as we continue to do the repetition. However, we do want to go into saying them in a knowing way that that is what is going to happen. So when we start saying affirmations and maybe we are continuing to unconsciously say to ourselves that, this doesn't feel real, this is, not true to me, that is actually paradoxically going to show up in our reality, because the subconscious mind will, as I say in my previous video, will always pick up on the emotion and the kind of acceptance of this kind of emotion through the thought, through the heart and the brain coherence, quicker than it will through the repetition of what it is that we are saying. So what I mean by this is that if you ever look to yourself and you have maybe complaints or negative feelings and things like that about stuff, and you maybe affirm in a way that is complaining, and maybe something shows up that is undesirable, and you will know then that your subconscious mind accepted that as true because the feeling of complaining was feeling more real to you than the actual affirmation of being positive, if that makes sense. So when we're actually saying our affirmations, it's not that we're maybe going to believe them straight away, but we do want to know and understand that as I have this faith and trust in saying this affirmation, that everything is going to be okay, and that everything will unfold in its right time, and that everything will unfold in the right way for me, and I'm going to trust that everything is benefiting me along my journey, and I'm going to continue to entertain these thoughts of affirmations that I am saying, because I know that as I continue to do that, that is going to show up in my reality. Now, when we do that and we go into it with that knowing, when we come out of saying our affirmations, we can't really go back and say to ourselves, okay, this isn't working. This hasn't showed up in my reality for so long because it's not working. And then maybe something undesirable shows up and it's not working. Nothing's working. And I'm saying these affirmations, because that is actually what the subconscious mind is going to pick up on. It'll always pick up on a powered emotion with an affirmation quicker than an actual vain affirmation. So if we have a more emotion attached to the negative, to things not working, that is kind of what's going to paradoxically come up if that's what we persist in. But when we are persistent in the positive, when we come into this knowing that I don't have to believe it, I just have to know and trust that things will change as I continue to create this mindset and to change the neurons in my brain. No matter what comes up, then you will have a better kind of adaptability, because you will know and trust that, okay, it doesn't matter that this is happening right now. If I'm feeling sad, if I have grief, and if I'm feeling anger and all of these emotions, I'm going to self-regulate and soothe myself, and I'm going to know and trust that things are working out and things are benefiting me in this way. In fact, this very thing that has happened to me in my reality is actually benefiting me in some way, because it's showing me something that I have to maybe look at a belief that I need to work on more, or maybe I just need to open my heart a bit more to acceptance, and all of these kind of different positive assumptions that will come to your mind if you know and trust that what you are doing is actually going to change things in your reality. The way you know that things are not the way you know that you are not actually believing is that as soon as something undesirable shows up, or as soon as circumstances show up, you immediately go to, okay, that's it, it's done, I can't do this. That is kind of an example of how you know that you're not actually knowing and trusting in what it is that you are affirming. Now, I do want to say that this is normal as well too, because we are human, and look at, I think it's always going to happen no matter what what stage you are in life, no matter how much positivity that you tell yourself, no matter how much things that you do in your reality to self-regulate. Sometimes life will hit us with things that were unexpected, and sometimes we're going to react in ways because they were unexpected and maybe they were undesirable, and maybe we react in a way that is triggering, and that's okay. Like, give yourself the permission to accept that that can happen in life, but also know that when you give yourself the permission to accept that, it means that as you accept this as a normal part or a normal way of being, it means that you're going to be able to accept whatever it is that you're manifesting as well too, because nothing is affecting you in such a way that is going to cause you to actually bring yourself back down, to think that you're not powerful, to think that you can't create what it is that you want, because you know and trust that this inner conviction within these affirmations or whatever it is that you are saying is what's actually going to inevitably change. And anything that pops up along the way, I am able to overcome it. I am able to self-soothe, self-regulate, look after myself, and understand that it is it's a way of living life, that I came here to experience all of the emotions. And so if I came here to experience all of the emotions, it means then that I'm going to have some time in my life where maybe I might be sad, or maybe I'll grieve, maybe I'll have anger, and look, that's okay. But most of the time I'm actually dominantly persistent in positive thoughts, and my life is actually mostly dominantly positive in feeling as well too. Because if you look at your life, sometimes you will find that the positive experience actually mostly outweigh any negative experience that we have, even if things don't look like that at the moment. If you look at your life, you will notice that there's a lot more positive experiences in it than actual negative, and that should even give you the kind of motivation to know that, okay, I'm on the right track, everything is going to be okay. So I'm actually just going to read a little quote from Neville Goddard, and just a little quote that he said as well too, that that everything changes as you change. And as we know in Neville Goddard's work, that this is kind of what he talks about, that no one to change but self. But it says here, the essential revolution must happen within ourselves. So we know that we have changed when things that would have brought us down, or things that would have triggered us, doesn't trigger us or bring us down anymore, because we're trusting more in our inner world, and we're believing more in our inner world, having faith in more in our inner world than what is going on around us. And he talks about even religion as well too, that unless it gives a man a deep abiding sense that all is well, quite irrespective of what happens to him in person, then religion has not really got a benefit if that's not what you get from it. Because essentially, when we are actually doing all these affirmations and doing techniques and all that, it's kind of like a religious process, because we are habitually choosing to think these ways, and we're habitually choosing to have a routine in order to manifest what it is that we want. But it comes from a knowing that everything is going to be okay no matter what is going on, that things always change and turn around. And as I consistently know that and trust that, whether I believe that or not, maybe I'll waver sometimes because my belief is not there. But if I know that, if I have that inner knowing and that faith and trust, and I continue on, then things are going to change. So I just thought I would do a video about that. And if you have any questions, you can comment down below. Obviously, you can email me at any time at manifestwithamanda@gmail.com as well too, and I will chat to you soon.